everyone, my name is Rania Faraulia and I'm majoring English Literature. So let's move on to the video. So here I want to explain about the solving problems. The first problems is Mr. Thompson is a linguist studying the use of language in news reporting. He is particularly interested in how language can convey bias, shape public opinion, and influence the perception of news events. Mr. Thompson analyzes articles from various news outlets covering the same events to identify linguistic patterns that may indicate bias. He also considers the impact of these linguistic choices on the audience understanding and interpretation of the news. The question is, what linguistic features should Mr. Thompson focus on to identify bias in news reporting? Discuss at least three features and explain how they can contribute to biased reporting. So I think for my answer is three: loaded and emotive language, selective quotation and attribution. The third is omission and emphasis. For the first one, loaded language can sway the reader's emotions and judgments. For example, calling a protest a riot versus a demonstration frames the event differently. Riot implies violence and chaos, while demonstration suggests peaceful action. These word choices reflect the reporter's or outlet's stance and can shape public opinion accordingly. And the second one is selective quotation and attribution. Reporters may give more space to voices that align with the specific narrative, while minimizing or discrediting opposing viewpoints. The use of verbs like claim, admitted, or insisted can cast doubt or convey approval of the speaker's credibility. And the last is by highlighting certain facts while omitting others. A report can distort the audience understanding. For instance, emphasizing the nationality or religion of a suspect in a crime story may reflect or promote stereotypes and xenophobia, even if it's not directly stated. So, for the conclusion is by examining loaded language, selective quotation, and omission or emphasize, Mr. Thompson can uncover subtle ways that news reporting may favor a particular perspective. These linguistic choices influence how readers perceive truth, blame, and significance, ultimately shaping public opinion through seemingly neutral reporting. Next, we're moving on to the second problem. Imagine you are a language planner working for the government of a country with a diverse linguistic landscape. The country has several indigenous languages spoken by a different ethnic groups, as well as a dominant national language used for official purposes. Your task is to develop a language policy that promotes linguistic diversity while ensuring effective communication and national unity. So the question is, how can the government promote the use and preservation of indigenous languages through education? For my answer, there are three for answering the question. The first one, Mother Tongue Based Multilingually Education or MTB MLE. The second is Curriculum Integration and Language Courses. The third is Teacher Training and Resource Development. The first one, children begin their early education, especially in primary school, in their indigenous or mother tongue, gradually transitioning to the national language and possibly a global language like English. Strengthens cognitive development and learning by using a familiar language. Builds cultural identity and pride in heritage. ensures literacy in both the indigenous language and the national language. The second, include indigenous language courses in the national school curriculum as electives or core subjects, especially in regions where those languages are spoken. Keeps indigenous languages visible and relevant in formal education. Encourage both indigenous and non-indigenous students to learn and appreciate local languages. The third is invest in the development of qualified teachers. Learning materials and educational resources in indigenous languages ensures that indigenous language education is high quality and sustainable. Prevents tokenistic implementation by building real capacity in the education system. So, for the conclusion, through MTBM LE, curriculum inclusion, and teacher or resource support, the government can promote indigenous languages in education. This approach values cultural heritage, fosters inclusive national identity, and equips students to navigate both local and national contexts. In doing so, the country strengthens its linguistic richness while promoting unity in diversity. I think that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.